Now, the UNIFIL have acknowledged that they do not know the origin of the fire, but it is worth reminding ourselves that on Friday night, US President Joe Biden said he was, quotes, absolutely positively urging Israel to stop firing at UN peacekeepers and in Lebanon following two earlier incidents, one on Friday, one on Thursday. And this, tensions have been ratcheted up in the region. There's been an exchange of fire between Lebanon and Israel, I think, over most of the past year. Now, obviously, there's ground actions carrying on as well. What does it all mean? Well, Amnon Aran is a professor of international politics of the Middle East at City University of London. He joins me now. Morning, Amnon.
Good morning.
So Israel's basically telling UNIFIL to get out, and UNIFIL are saying, we're not leaving Naqoura, we're staying in the region. So we're going to see more of these kind of injuries, or worse.
I think obviously the situation right now is very complex. As you've said, the Israelis have requested UNIFIL to move 5 kilometers north. UNIFIL has refused. I think what we're going to see probably is both sides keeping to their positions. The Israelis are going to try and avoid any kind of engagement with UNIFIL positions, but whether they can do that in that very complex terrain in South Lebanon is still yet to be seen.
It's an absolutely dreadful situation. How much Joe Biden seems to be maintaining this line of, I'm doing everything I can to get a ceasefire, to bring peace, to stop things getting worse. But at the same time, we had, I think, in The Guardian the day before yesterday, a revelation that American munitions have been used in bombing raids in Lebanon. So what do you make of his position?
Well, I think the Americans, as your listeners might know, also have now deployed an additional defense system in Israel as well. So I think the Americans have got sort of a dual position. On the one hand, on a declaratory level at least, they are urging the Israelis to avoid civilian casualties. But at the same time, from a strategic point of view, they still believe that they need to support the Israelis. And of course, with regards to Joe Biden himself, his term is ending very soon. He can afford to say whatever he wants. And obviously, after the very near elections in the United States, we're going to have to see a new president, and they'll have their own position. So Joe Biden actually is really almost yesterday's news. Almost. Not yet, but almost.
I agree. Do you think he will be going to the end of his presidential career disappointed that he failed to get a ceasefire? Or do you feel that treading water, which is how I've sort of perceived his actions over the last year or so, that he feels he might have done a good job with that?
I think he will be disappointed. I think he did enter this conflict with a very sincere position of supporting Israel at a very perilous time following the 7 October attacks. I think he felt that he would be able, in return, to create this new regional order, Israel and new Arab partners, especially Saudi Arabia, in exchange to some deal which would include hostage release in Gaza. He has failed to do that. In a recent book now published by Bob Woodward, he seems to be very angry, at least based on the quotes there. So I think he will be disappointed that he was not able to fully achieve that. At the same time, I think he will probably still be at one that he did support Israel, and therefore he has still instructed his teams, notwithstanding his anger with Benjamin Netanyahu, to still continue and support Israel with munitions, politics, and any other aspect the US can do that.
Professor Aran, thanks so much for giving up your time this morning. Professor Aran there from City University of London.